to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide, 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Was Click News really talking like that?
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
It's the weekend and the youth are taking over the airwaves. Yes, we are the new voices and faces of the Talk Up You radio show. The voice of the Jamaican youth right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
After a busy week of work and school, come and wine with Jamaica's #1 youth radio show.
We're bringing you entertainment, fun facts, and staying true to youth development and advocacy.
Catch the action each and every Saturday as we roll out buzzy segments. What say you?
Youth for chat.
Life skills.
Global Connect and Bust the Youth. That's the Talk Up Youth radio show. Saturdays 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM.
Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth. Don't miss it.
Jamaica, our young people are world leaders, innovators, and game changers. They are creative, intelligent, bold, and they are champions. My youths, you have the power to transform Jamaica. Our country needs your ideas, your opinions, your solutions, and your support. Full time now, we kick out crime and violence, rape culture, unemployment, and all of the other problems in Jamaica land we love. I'm Empress Scolding, encouraging all young people to come make we talk up for radio. Go on with it, youths. Talk up youth. Myself a talk up youth. Jamaica, our young people are world leaders.
I hear the birds chirping. My green smelling good. Feeling like I should. Wow! Hey, so me jump out of bed, roll up, toothbrush to me teeth, now comb to me dreads. Wash off me face, then a full speed ahead. Onto me garden, me keep me fed. There you watch how I do with a couple fried egg. Leave a live teeth to keep me content. Intoxicated by the incense of scriptures I chant to all a reverend. I say, woke up this morning feeling so glad. The world is yours for the taking. Said a little voice in my head, in my head. The world is yours for the taking. Said a little voice in my head. And so me touching at the streets and I nothing but love the old and the young. Stretch forth for a hung. Sing a couple songs before you know it, them a jump. I got something for the ladies and also tugs. Ragga God, but I heart a love. The way them see the natty skang and bully feel not the junk. But the other call them know say just the royal and a bunk. And the eye set a skunk full up in a me love. I say, woke up this morning feeling so glad. The world is yours for the taking. Said a little voice in my head, in my head. The world is yours for the taking. Said a little voice in my head. Yeah. Feeling blessed, got no time for stress. Oh yeah. Feeling blessed, got no time for stress. Yeah.
betterment in this modern time, in this modern time. Education is the key for betterment. Never waste your time, don't you waste your time. Bless and love. This is Warrior King. It's all about talk up youth, you know. Cause the youth them are the future. Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Keep in tune, don't move it. Dial! Rastafari. Reggae music rocking the nation. Good vibration.
Well, it's all played out, and I'm old and gray. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. Yes, I've made mistakes, and I've made my change. There's nothing left to do. There's nothing left to do. So I'm giving you the best of me.
Welcome one and all to the Talk Up Youth radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. If you're, well, you would have just joined us. I'm Demoy, and also co-hosting with me this morning is
Samuel.
So Samuel, how has it been so far? How has the week been?
Well, seeing that exam starting basically this week, some started last week, kinda rough because just studying. If you have marathon classes, you go marathon classes, and it's just basically school and back for the entire week. So tired right now.
So this is your second year or third?
Second year.
So well, you're gonna have one more, but
one more year of stress.
One more year of stress, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be worth it once you cross that line and you go up on the stage and you collect your canon and stuff like that. Yes, and you start work, and you're gonna be like, thank God. So
make some money.
That's true. So today's episode is all about peace management and conflict resolution, and all of this conversation today would basically be because of what we would have seen happening in the news this week. So this week our nation has been rocked with news of flaring up of violence among high schoolers in the corporate area. These violent clashes among groups of students have been going viral on social media. The police officials are actually probing these incidents. So, and also while dealing with the issue in Kingston, because all of that was Kingston, you heard how many schools?
I think it was Mona, Calabar, Georges. I think Casey was a part of it as well.
Yeah, but I think in total we have about 13 schools in the corporate area that actually involved. The root of it, that's something that we're probably going to go into later.
Yeah, more in depth.
Yes. So also while dealing with that issue here in Kingston, news broke yesterday of a student who was stabbed to death from Irwin High School in St. James. So you can see basically the genesis of where the conversation will be going today, which is basically how is it that we manage conflict? Are we good at conflict resolution and peace management? So that's where the conversation is going to go. So we have that coming up in the show. We're going to be we're going to be looking at if the romantic relationship actually affects the average high school student and stuff like that. We're gonna go into the crime, the violence. We're probably gonna dissect a bit and go into the root cause of these issues. So all of this and more on the next side of this break. This is the Talk Up Youth radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. Talk Up Youth, Musefi.
Talk Up Youth.
We'll be right back.
When tomorrow comes and my race is done, there's no one else but you. But you start all over again. I know you'd be my friend. Yes, I know it's true. There's nothing left to do, so I'm giving you the best.
Stop buying expensive toner cartridges. Global Ink is now selling new factory direct generic toners. Remove factory seals, install and print. Engineered to work first time, every time. Certified for use in HP and Brother printers. Worry-free, affordable printing for your peace of mind. Money saved is money earned. We deliver island-wide. 754-7444 or 1-888-NEED-INK. Never run out of toner again. Global Ink.
Listen to Nationwide 90 FM on 90.1
90.3
90.7
90.9
or visit our Flow channel on a 916. To our valued listeners, for questions, comments, or concerns about our programs, email us at programs@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Looking to rent a fully operational production studio? Then Nationwide 90 FM has got you covered. We have flexible options to meet your recording needs any day of the week. Monday to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays available upon request. Bookings must be made in advance. Call us today at 630-1210. Let us help you reach your production desires.
Design Studio Home.
And so we come to know these youths and show these youths. Talk up yourself, the youths to know them roots. Nurture them, protect and love and hear these youths. Music make them know I love we show these youths.
Mr. Save the youth, not kill the youth. A build we come to build the youth. Stop trick and fool and kill the youth. A build we come to build the youth. Empower and inskill the youth. A build we come to build the youth. Youth in action, Jamaica, we are
build the youths there.
I come youth in Jamaica.
To be somebody was my heart's desire. So me never stop saying no prayer. I no pain. Probably was the youth with the worst attire. Back in our school I sing pan choir. I no pain. From the day my life began, and a little bit of tears run. Everybody have them own story. This one is for all who want give up and done. Yeah, I've been there before. What if I fight to fight? Would I need 1,000 books to write? Yeah, I've been there before. Everything I go alright. Remember the darkest part of the night is just before daylight. Yeah. So I'ma fight on. Strongest turn me into a man. Tell me where time gone. Still I try calm. My category 5-star. My earthquake and fire, but I cry and keep my light on. Now no food in the plate, but we bike on. Cause me just don't feel safe where I born. Me have the courage now, me heart mixed with the right song. Me learn to flourish now the dark. Me keep my mind strong.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. Talk Up Youth, Musefe.
Talk Up Youth.
And if you're just joining us, we will be discussing basically about peace management and conflict resolution. You might be wondering, who is this that you're listening to? For those who don't know the voice by now, my name is Demoy, and also with me in studio is...
It's Samuel.
So, Samuel, we would have started the show speaking about, what has been happening in the corporate area and also in St. James, right, where violence is concerned. But the What Say You segment of Talk Up You radio show, I think it's coming from the basically. Let me gather my thoughts. The question that is being asked is, does romantic relationships affect the average high school student? Right. And then the question is, should high school children be in romantic relationships? I think the producer was trying to reach for something to link it with what has been happening, where the uproar and the violence in the corporate area is concerned, because I'm not sure how true it is, but it is said that it is over female student from that blessed school on Constance Spring Road.
Very blessed.
That very blessed school on Constance, a very royal school on Constance Spring Road. So the question is, should high school children be involved in romantic relationship? I want to hear from you, Samuel, because you're closer to the high schoolers than I am.
Yeah, you're kind of old on them.
No, we're not going to do that on air. But you can go ahead.
All right, so the question is, should high school students be in romantic relationships? Well, in my view, should they be in romantic relationships, or are they capable of handling romantic relationships while in school or at that age? That's really the standpoint where I would take it from, because it's not a case where we can just say we're going to stop them from being in romantic relationships, because both of us know how it gets at time, when you reach a certain age, hormones and certain things. You see a girl, you like a girl, she like you, or and it just things are starting to happen. Well, so you can't really stop it, but it's really how you handle the situation. How do you handle the relationship? How you in the relationship help to boost each other. So you know certain boundaries and know, so alright, when our school students supposed to still maintain that level of respect for each other. Make sure that each other is still staying focused in school, dating work done, and the relationship is not taken away from the whole aspect of you going to school and getting your education and so forth. So,
well, I agree. My standpoint is I don't think it's something that we can stop.
Right.
Because as you said, there are a lot of things involved. Would we like it? Do we want it to happen? Not really. Well, let me start over. Relationships are okay.
Right.
Relationships are okay. Everybody they're involved where relationship is concerned. Romantic relationship now, where high school students are concerned, that now is the question, because at the end of the day, as you would have said, there are a lot of things involved, hormone and stuff, and then what happens within a romantic relationship sometimes is not something that they ought to be exploring.
True.
Because high school is between 12 to 18,
19, right.
And remember, the age of consent where sex is concerned is 16,
right.
And most of these students sometimes connect romantic relationships with sexual intercourse and having a sexual relationship with the person.
Right.
You understand? So that's something that I want to put out there from day one. No, we don't condone that. I don't condone that. That's one. Two, and it's not because of draconian sort of views. It's just at the end of the day, with sex comes a lot of responsibilities and a lot of enough things come with sex. You understand?
Emotions and
and that's just like one side of it. We're not talking about the health side of it. You understand? That's a whole different thing. We're not talking about, okay, are they being responsible?
Are they being protected while they're having sex?
Exactly. So stuff like so all of these are conversations. So at the end of the day, romantic relationships, meh. Relationships always good. It's always good to have friends. It's always good to, yes, you're gonna like someone's gonna like you, but in a responsible,
there's certain boundaries.
Certain boundaries ought to be established. You ought to do responsibly. The parents, we're encouraging the parents to kind of observe a trend that is happening and help them to discover themselves and to explore themselves in a safe and responsible manner. So one thing that I was told while growing up is that, if we're dating at that age, nothing is wrong with dating, but don't leave ourselves vulnerable to what can happen when we're alone. So we're always encouraged to date in groups. So we go to stuff like movies together in a group. You get me?
Group picnics.
Group picnics. Right. Not just picnic, but like so when we're going out, it will be in groups, mainly. Group activities. Yeah. If we're going on an adventure, it's group. So that is one suggestion in which we can explore. There are other little things that we can do, but at the end of the day, let me address something, which is if this is tied to the incidents or what has been happening in Kingston based on the report, what I would like to say is that I don't think a romantic relationship is the root cause of the uproar, basically, of violence spurring in the corporate area where schools are concerned. And that is why I am glad that we are actually exploring peace management and conflict resolution, because at the end of the day, all of these are things that we ought to look into, because you can have your girlfriend, I can have my girlfriend, or you can have your girlfriend and I can like your girlfriend. But at the end of the day, not because I like your girlfriend and so you're gonna get up and throw a bicycle at me. You understand? Not because I like your girlfriend or I'm because at the end of the day, your girlfriend or not, sometimes in some boys or some men's eyes, it's a fair game until she reassures you.
Who she choose. Really, who she choose at the end of the day.
You get me? So things like that. But at the end of the day, how is it that we deal with these? How is it that we deal with rejection? You understand? That's something that we ought to discuss. How is it that we deal with rejection? How is it that we understand that it's just a part of life? It's just one thing. You move on at the end of the day. And how is it that we manage our nose, or how is it that we say, okay, yes, this young man might be insulting me because he knows that I'm talking to this young lady, and he's still persisting or pursuing. You know, how do we have an amicable conversation to say, okay, this is the case. If she's entertaining you while she's with me, clearly I need to move on, and you and her need to, you know, something about what
respect for myself and myself, but just, you know, step away from it.
You know, but I'd say all of that to say this can't be the reason, or it should not be the reason why we're asking this question, because okay, of the uproar in violence in the schools, we ought to look at, okay, what's happening in these students' home. You know, in the homes of these students, what's happening where that is concerned? Is this something that they are exposed to? What other factors are influencing them outside of schools? Because if you listen, if you, and this is something that I'm going to talk about in the next side of the show, hopefully the guests that we invite, you know, will help to bring it out a bit. But we ought to understand that socialization takes place from various different groups. Right. You know, we have primary agents, we have the family, we have the church, we have the community. What is the community like where these students are from? You know, what is it that they're learning? And when I say community, I'm not talking, okay, uptown or ghetto, because I grew up in a ghetto, but at the end of the day, I had positive role models. You know, what kind of role models do they have? What is it that they're emulating? What is it that they would have been exposed to? We're all at this conference concerned. So this is a lot to unpack. I have been gabbing for a while. Right. I think I'm going to sign off where this is concerned. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
I think it basically covered everything that I probably would have wanted to mention, especially the part where you said what are they exposed to in the communities and at home. So yeah, basically I went through all of it already.
Yeah, but what I'll say, where high school is concerned, dating should not be the primary focus. You know, we ought to be focusing on passing these subjects and getting CXC grades, so we can go to university, and so we can, you know, actually make something of our lives. You know, make something of ourselves. You know, better position ourselves to be earning that 6 figures, or in some instance 7 figures and stuff like that. You know, it can't be that is the focus. And if that is the focus, you ought to look into yourself, reassess the situation, and understand that is not the end goal. Schools aren't nurturing or curating relationships. It's for you to learn, for you to better yourself and be a productive member of society later down the line. So that's something that we ought. That's something that we ought to have that conversation when we're talking about this. But producer, if I might say, I would have gabbed about this question, but I really don't like it. I don't like it. I think we can do better. Let's do better next week. No, I'm just saying we can do better next week, because, you know, I want to put up on how much I did in a relationship in a high school. See there? No, the rest of them I tell lie. The rest of them I tell lie. Do not say anything, Damien. Why Rose run? No,
Rosa hide.
Rosa hide. You know, so it's a. I don't know what is it that you're. So the relationships are there. You know, my real issue is really when we look and give audience and platform to romantic relationship and make it seem as if it's something that they ought to aim for or ought to be involved in, when the truth of the matter is you can have pure relationships. Right. You understand? Friendship is a form of relationship. Mentorship is a form of relationship. You know, the camaraderie that you have with if you're involved in sports with the teammates. That's a form of relationship. True. You know, to look out for one another and help each other study on the field, whatever game or whatever sport is it that you're playing. You look out for the person, you look out for the persons, you'd go the extra mile to ensure that everyone is satisfied, and that satisfaction, if you're involved in sports, comes from a victory or winning. You get me? So we're not exploring these are relationships. You know, the relationship that a teacher might have with a student, for the student to want to excel or propel to do more where life is concerned, where learning is concerned. So all of these are relationships. You get me? Oh, somebody, Kimberly McLeod on YouTube says, agree, the relationship could have never been the only factor that contributed to the dispute, which I agree with you, Kimberly. It can't be from Adam and Eve days. Well, let me not say Adam and Eve days. From,
too far.
From, that's probably too far. But from a long time, we could put the idea to each other. You understand? And enough times, I had my, I probably shouldn't have disclosed this on radio, but I've had my heart broken in high school, of course. So you get me? But that don't mean say me I go take up one bicycle, or take up one book, or take up one long pipe and lick down the boy, or hit the girl, you know? No. So we really ought to look at, is this what they are used to, or is this what they're seeing,
right?
Are they exposed to in their communities, at schools?
So in some cases, it's probably a norm for them.
Yeah. Which is,
which shouldn't be,
but it is. So that's something that we ought to look into when we're having this sort of conversation. Guys, that's a mouthful. We're going to take a break. This is Talk Up Youth Radio Show right here on Nationwide 90 FM. Talk Up Youth, Musefi.
Talk Up Youth.
We'll be right back.
Another party, yeah, I know what nobody.
Come join us outside with Pepita. Every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Boy, Yafi.
We bring you the views, the news, and we'll be cruising all around Jamaica.
Hey, surprise them with a bang.
For the hot spots, raindrops, sunshine, we'll be there. Don't miss it, don't miss it. Outside with Pepita.
Korean solid surface, so versatile and beautiful. It's non-porous, no sealing necessary, renewable and repairable, so easy to clean and maintain, and can be thermoformed into any shape. Choose Korean, the #1 solid surface in the world, when you want beauty and the best for your countertop. Visit Home International Limited, located at 104 Constant Spring Road. Telephone 755-1970 or 924-0437.
Variety is the spice of life. That's not just true for entertainment, it's true for investing too. While stocks, bonds, and cash are effective, there are other credible investment options out there. These are alternative investments, ranging from digital options like cryptocurrencies to old school investments like gold, real estate, and private equity. You can invest on your own or via a fund with a curated portfolio of investment options.
Visit barita.com/opportunities for more growth coach insights.
I stay locked to the Olympics because, of course, I'm Jamaican. What you mean? Me, I have to tune into the Olympics, man. Because I'm always busy, but what? I have to know when Sherika Jackson beat Shakari. Brother, I have to have every notification for the Olympics. I want to hear every run.
Now Sherika Jackson coming
every jump.
Oh, that is absolutely huge of Wade Pinkham.
Every fling, live.
So, take us then.
Nothing can miss me.
We're always on the move.
So while we're driving, run, Elaine, run.
Jogging. Yes. Run, Watson. Win again.
Watson is now a world champion.
Or even at work.
Quick. The race has started.
We can't miss a beat because we keep it locked
to the only station
for the Paris Olympics.
Nationwide. 90 FM.
Nationwide 90.1, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7 and 90.9, and on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live. Nationwide, the new revolution in media.
Talk Up Youth and talk the truth. I asked the Bush that representing for Talk Up Youths here and Nationwide 90 FM every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bush!
Your love struck me down lightning, thunder in my soul, baby. My heart beats for you only. Every word is true. I'm in love with you. Take you as you are, lady. You
night, gotta change for me. Need you from your crown, honey, right down to the sole of your very feet. Girl, my love grows stronger each day, baby, please. Don't hurt me just because you know I forgive. Girl, my love grows stronger each day, baby, please. Don't hurt me just because you know I forgive.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Youth Radio Show right here on Nationwide 90 FM and also on YouTube. Yes, we're on YouTube. I'm watching myself here on YouTube and I'm also reading the comments. So Era would have said, based on the previous conversation prior to the break, we're talking about relationships and schools, etc. We're high schoolers. Era would have said everything starts from the home. You have to learn how to dance a yard before you dance abroad. And Kimberly would have also said, take up on a book. I agree with the Kimberly, take up on a book. Some of them don't know how to balance, some of them don't know how to multitask. So just focus on one thing, which is the primary thing. Take up on a book. Learn what you need to learn. After that, only can think about man and woman. Anyway, so back to the conversation, which is really about conflict resolution and peace management.
So a young person can be a victim, a perpetrator, or a witness to school violence. Violence in school can have a physical impact and it can cause psychological distress, permanent physical disability, and long-term physical or mental illness.
All right, so all of this basically is because of what we would have been seeing in the social media spaces,
right,
with the uproar in the schools, not just in the corporate area, but also in the news with what happened in the St. James-based institution. So some background information on the comments that would have followed after that. We have the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, Leighton Johnson. He's calling for a national campaign on positive values in light of numerous instances of violence among students that occurred in the past week. Students of high schools in the corporate area have been engaged in a string of violent incidents since the start of the week. Disappointed but not surprised, that's the word from the president of the National Parent Teachers Association, Stuart Jacobs, of a feud among students of several schools in the corporate area. Also, students at Irvine High in St. James are now undergoing counseling following the death of one of their schoolmates on Thursday. The students succumbed to injuries sustained following a stabbing incident outside of the school gate just after classes were dismissed the day. And the deceased young man has been identified as 15-year-old Ranil Plummer, a 9th grade student at the school. So with that, we're just setting the context of the conversation. We have with us today in studio, we have Neville Charlton. Neville, I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself because if probably the portfolio that I would introduce you under is one that you would have far removed yourself from. So Neville, I know things are going there, so come tell the people who you are.
Hey everyone, so basically I am the founder and chair of Youth Inspiring Positive Change, which is a non-profit organization that's really focused on volunteerism, advocacy, peace building, and a critical part of our initiative that we look at is our Youth for Peace campaign, which look at conflict resolution and peace management strategies. So when I saw the incident, like I share similar sentiments with the president of the
PTA, National PTA. So it's surprised, disappointed but not surprised?
But not surprised, because a lot of times, especially when we're going to schools and we have these trainings, you look at the factors and realize that there are underlying factors. I think persons look at it from the surface level when it comes to conflict, but it's multifaceted. You have to look at, and I love that you mentioned it, the more you start from the home and then you look at the school, but then you also look at socialization, and everything have to be running concurrently. Because at the end of the day, your parent can tell you one thing at home, and them grow you, but as soon as you touch in a school, it's a different set.
Peer pressure.
Exactly.
So,
right.
And again, sometimes we can't put the blame solely at this the parents or at the school or the teachers. Sometimes even as young people we have to take up the mantra as well and say that, this is right, this is wrong. But you have to look at the underlying factors but I won't get into that.
Because we also have Theo online. Theo, I'm just like Neville. I'm going to ask you to just introduce yourself. What organization are you representing in this conversation? Because as I say, two promising young men full up our position, full up our very involved. Let me say that. But let's just start with that. And also, I want to hear your initial reaction to the flare-up of violence in the high schools.
Greetings, everyone in studio. Demoy, Neville, my good friend. I'm Theo. I represent the Student Safety on the Streets initiative. This initiative started back in 2018 when, we have a uproar of violence happening in the Kingston Central area. I see Neville shaking his head as he remember when it is that we would have started that alongside with our chairman at the time, Chad Rattray. When I saw the recent uproar of violence, I was a bit perturbed because to see all of this happening, knowing what time is coming up, knowing that exams are coming up, I am like, guys, let's get it together, let's focus. And in particular, it was really shocking that it happened at this time because just in the past week, I was at the UN headquarters. We were looking at the Sustainability Development Goals, in specifically Sustainability SDG number 17, where it talks about peace, justice, and, the good quality of institutions. And I must commend all of our principals that have come hands on deck, or parents that have come hands on deck. The PTA has never said that has come hands on deck to see how it is that they can do best to mitigate the problem and to find the solutions.
Just to jump in, I think it was SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
Alright, so to Theo and Neville, so do you guys think we are doing enough to stem violence in schools?
Definitely not.
Well, you jumped right into it.
Why do you say that?
Definitely not. I think, as I say, just like how you have maths and English, you need to have some dedicated course to conflict resolution and peace management strategy. And I think even the more it was in, what year were we a part of Youth Parliament?
20, yeah, give me age.
I think it was
2017.
And one of the things when they appointed me as the Minister of National Security, I put forward to the table is that we need to have a curriculum, peace curriculum in school,
right,
where even if it's taught up to first form to third form, that is centered, even if it's one time a week, we need to have some kind of curriculum, because when you're constantly doing something over and over, the one day workshop, they come in today, they come in for a week, they talk about conflict management, and they talk about, some students will get it, but some will not. And then you have to remember that, as you rightfully mentioned, them all things are happening at home.
Yes.
Things are happening at home, and maybe when they leave home, school is their comfort zone, outside their socialization is. So when they are put inside that avenue within the school, they need to be constantly reminded. And I love the fact that I mentioned previously about mentorship. Like, mentorship is a critical aspect of it as well, because when they have those positive role models, and I can even attest from my side, because I've worked with some young people, and sometimes hear them say, boy, I say, I'm not going on, see my brother get shot in front of me, right? So nobody can come talk to me and say, yo, me need to do this, I do that, just I got to do more thing. So you have to also look at the mental health or what state they are in as well, because that kind of affects them. But honestly, we need to have ongoing, and I love the fact that the Minister of Education, Youth and Information had made mention it, that they're going to look at conflict resolutions in school. I hope it's more constant and ongoing, and not just a one-off initiative.
Theo, are we doing enough? Same question Samuel asked.
Honestly, no. I don't think enough is being done. I think there is more room for improvement. And just to add to what Neville said, without reiterating, I think the continuation of the guidance counselor teachings in school, I know it continues to about grade 9 until they do their subject selections to go into grade 10.
Yeah.
I think it should be mandated that the guidance counselor program, I think it is home and family life, thereabout somewhere there.
It's two different, but I get where you're going. So instead of having guidance classes,
and counseling class,
they can have like some little self-empowerment, self sort of sessions in schools up to CXC.
Yes, I think it should continue. I know that persons will say this put excess strain on the body, but this actually helps, or I believe it can actually help our students to get that little time to assess life make positive life choices, and just to see how impactful, it is that everything, the decisions that they make now, how impactful it can be on their future.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break because we have to. But when we come back, I want both of you to think and answer this question when on the next side of the break. What are the best practices towards conflict resolution and management? This is Talk Up Youth Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
We'll be right back.
Outperform, outlast. We top performance. Chakama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Pan select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
The Olympic Games 2024 live from Paris in France, exclusively on Nationwide 90 FM.
The Jamaican star shines bright once again.
Live here halfway through the Olympic finals.
This summer, Nationwide 90 FM is coming in hot.
Jamaica to the Blacks!
Nationwide 90 FM will be blazing as we bring you the games of the 33rd Olympiad live from the French capital, Paris. 16 fantastic days of competition in 41 sports.
Noblin Williams-Mills coming, the glory flapping, her arms are waving, and Noblin Williams-Mills coming through for Jamaica's goal.
The station will bring you analysis and live coverage from the opening day of competition, Friday, July 26th to the very last day of action on Sunday, August 11th.
And some parchment, let's go! Oh, what a run!
Everything and anything Paris Olympic Games 2024 can be heard right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
It is a glittering goal for Sharika Jackson, and how they will celebrate that back in Jamaica.
We'll capture the spirit of athleticism. We'll narrate the Olympic fever, define thrilling moments, and report on the blood, sweat, and tears of the world's greatest athletes. Nationwide 90 FM is going to the Paris Olympic Games, and we're taking you with us. Tune into Nationwide 90.3, 90.5, 90.7, and 90.9 for live updates and commentary. We'll be giving the listeners a front row seat to witness excitement, triumph, and memories.
And I think it was a clean sweep for the Jamaicans.
Stay tuned to Nationwide 90 FM 24/7. Experience the Paris Olympic Games 2024 right here on the Revolution in Media Nationwide 90 FM, your Olympic Center. Exclusively on Nationwide 90 FM.
I don't think you listen, you listen. I don't think you listen. For me to come out, it must mean I'm not the dog. It must mean I'm not the same. It must mean I'm on your case. For me to come out, it means that I'm not the dog. I want to show you my world.
This is Nikisha Barnes representing the Talk Up Radio, a Talk Up Youth production held every Saturday 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Talk Up Youth, Mr. Talk Up Youth.
I don't need nothing. You are my everything. Only me and you. Only me and you.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Youth Radio Show right here on Nationwide 90 FM. If you are just joining us, you are listening to yours truly, Demoy, and also
Samuel, right
and
here.
Yeah, man, I'm here to tell us Samuel, I'll go, I don't know, with this. I think we should host more. I think we should host more. And we are discussing conflict resolution and peace management, and we have none other than our very own, well, not a very own, Neville Charter. We almost have very own. We have Neville Charter. We also
feel like
have,
I've been here, sir.
Yeah, we also have Theo, who are helping us to dissect and going basically in the conversation in terms of conflict resolution and peace management. So I would have thrown out a question at the end of the last segment, which is, what are the best practices towards conflict resolution and peace management? So I want to start with Theo, where that is concerned. Theo, what are the best practices? And what are some best practices that you can suggest?
So let me first just go with the ones that are already there. You have the ones where we have the dean of discipline who will tell you that take a step back, count from 1 to 10, to see how if it is that the situation can be handled and differently. We also have uh, others where you can just there. So I have always said, before it reached to a point where fist have to get involved or weapon has to get involved, all it takes is for us to just step back, look, assess. So assessment would be one of the most effective tools that I think can work because when you really look into it, all of these conflicts can be mitigated against and can go around. So the
So let me
counting from
ask
one to
you,
ten.
Theo. Theo, let me ask you because what I observe sometimes as youth leaders in spaces, we often try to subtract ourselves from the actual reality,
Right.
and we ought to understand. And Neville is here agreeing, which I know it's something that I would have talked to him multiple times about. These are issues that affect us. So when I ask the question, I know your TOT, I know your history, we know you from Camperdown days, right? We know you from you did little. I just say, so just give me one best practice that you would have practiced when you come in contact where conflict is concerned.
Walk away.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Walk
Yeah,
away.
walk
That's
away.
what I was trying to get from you. That's one of the best practices.
You asked me that. You asked me what are some. So you have the counting, you have the assessing, I have walk away.
All right, Neville.
For me, definitely it's collaboration. But the more before I jump in, and just for your viewers to understand that there are actually 5 ways of managing conflict, and everybody usually fit in this personality type. Well, I was actually just did a pull up some of my notes that I had. So you have accommodation where people accommodate the conflict. So let's say, for example, you're in a conflict, right? You can accommodate it. So you'll be like, okay, you can talk about it, but sometimes it's a lose-win situation where one person win. Then you also have compromise. A lot of people will say, okay, say them or you beat me up, so might as well just compromise and go with them or thing and be like, okay, and then you have
Come with and beat you up?
No, compromise. I'm just saying the compromise. Exactly. So you compromise, and then you have the avoidance, where is a similar situation where you can actually walk away from it, but then you have competing. And I think what's happening now in society is that this back and forth clashing of ideas that sometimes we need to understand for everybody out there. Conflict is not necessarily bad. Conflict is an okay thing in every situation, but my best practices is collaborate. So say for example myself and them all have a conflict. I take time to listen to them all, identify the root cause of the conflict. And this is what we need to teach our young people, that we need to identify what are the root cause. We need to come together and say, you know what, take a deep breath. Because everybody had at. Everybody had at.
Everybody had
can't just at. No, it's like it takes
Everybody's
nothing. It takes nothing, and the reality is it takes nothing for these young people head to chip. Sometimes when you're on the road and you see how they behave, sometimes it takes nothing, right? And even us as adults, we have to watch how we talk to kids as well. Right? But the best thing for me the more is collaborate, identify the issue, talk it out, look at possible solutions and look at win-win. How the more I can win, myself can win, and we can walk away peacefully.
Awesome. Over the years, the media has reported that there was a time when inter-school fights were a common occurrence in public spaces where students gathered before and after school. This led to the formation of the Peace for Champs. The Peace for Champs initiative was started in 2008 by Senior Superintendent Terence Bent to help the safe school programs reduce violence in schools. Although it was started in St. Andrew Central, the East Kingston and Kingston Central Police Divisions also came on board. This allowed students to assist in the decision-making aspect of promoting peace within schools for all sporting activities. So that's Peace for Champs. What I want to ask here is what would have... So that was what led to the formation of Peace for Champs. And I think... Were you involved in Peace for Champs, Neville? Yeah, because I was involved in Peace for Champs at that time, and I will say to you that the reason for which it was formed, that was really achieved at the end of the day, if you can understand. And I think that if we're looking at social movements, Peace for Champs would have been a very good example to explore and to dissect as to the formation and the success of Peace for Champs. So I say all of that to say, what would have led to the formation of Safety for Students program prior to the pandemic?
So the Student Safety on the Streets initiative started with our chairman, Chad Ratcher, as I've mentioned when I just joined. So how we started it was that, similar to Peace for Champs, we promote peace. But what we realize is that after Champs passes in March, Peace for Champs is on pause until the next Champs process starts. So what used to happen was that until then, the students in the Kingston Central area were still being robbed. There was still violence on the streets. And so Chad Rattray and the other student leaders in the Kingston Central area, or who would commute in the downtown area, decided that this is how we can come together to ask the community members to come on board with us to help safety, because the schools that are within the community, they're not just there because the students need to be educated. They're there to be a part of the community. So it was that school community relationship building. So we had it to have all year round.
All right, and I think you would have formed, or you'd have been
Youth for Peace.
Youth for Peace. Can you share more about that? And also, what I want to ask both of you is, was the motive or the reasons for the formation of these entities, were they achieved? So I'm going to ask Neville to just quickly share in 30 seconds, the reason for it, and was it achieved at the end of the day? And Theo, you can just say a quick yes or no, because we're going to have to take a break after
Alright,
this.
so Youth for Peace was formed on the basis that young people can play a part in the peace building process, where young people are critical stakeholders. As you can see, young people are both victims and perpetrators of crime and violence within Jamaica, and they are the main. So that was the main thing. Yes, it has been achieved. Not everything, because as you can see, there is more conflict and violence flaring up. One suggestion I'd make is that we need more peace clubs within our schools. Just like how you have Key Club and you have Circle K and all of these clubs, maybe you need some Youth for Peace. So teachers, if you're there listening and you want us to come into your school, let me just pitch it that we are willing to come and look at how we can do a Youth for Peace club within the school space and teach on conflict resolution and peace building strategies.
Quick plug, thanks. Theo, quickly, yes or no? Was
Like Neville, it's yes, but more work is still there to be done.
Awesome. I just want to thank both of you for taking the time out of a busy schedule. I know, Theo, you're away, and Neville, you have a lot of things to do. Taking time out of a busy schedule to come and have this conversation with us. It was fruitful. I learned a lot, and I hope both of you and your organizations are seeing what's happening and are empowered to go and assist the police.
So, young people, if you're watching, remember, talk it out. No, fight it out.
Alright, take a break. Talk up youth, Miss Effie.
Talk up youth.
Give me one break, I need faith. Faith to believe you, faith to receive you. Give me something I'm lacking, I don't need nothing. You are my everything. Only me and you, only me and you, only me and you. Only me and you, only me, only you, only me and you, only me and you, only me and you, only make me your matter, make me your matter.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
12 noon.
It's credible and factual. The World at Noon on Nationwide 90 FM.
Good afternoon, I'm Andrew Cannon. Coming up in the World at Noon for this Saturday, April 20, 2024, sections of Spanish Town are tense as police monitor roadblocks by supporters of reputed Klansman gang member following his killing by lawmen yesterday. 2 stolen motor vehicles were among several items recovered during an operation in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth on Friday. Former president of the PSOJ, Howard Mitchell, urges political stakeholders not to politicize the ruling by the Constitutional Court as he reacts to the DPP legal saga. In regional news, head of Infection Prevention Unit in Trinidad and Tobago, placed on administrative leave. On the international scene, the U.S. House of Representatives is voting on a $61 billion aid package for Ukraine today, while in sports, the Miami Heat and the New Orleans Pelicans secured the final 2 spots in the NBA playoffs. The details after this. The St. Catherine North Police are keeping a close watch on sections of Spanish Town at this hour as supporters of Klansman gang enforcer Sheldon Walters, also known as Termite, have mounted roadblocks using old iron and wooden debris in process of his killing by the police Friday evening. Pictures of burning debris along a roadway have also been making the rounds on social media. Nationwide News spoke with head of the Constabulary Communications Unit (CCU), Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay.
So the police in St. Catherine, they are currently working and getting the town center and its environs under control after persons would have proceeded to block some roads and created some public order situations earlier today. The police have cleared a number of the roads. Of course, based on how they operate, they will try to block other roads. So we have a strong police and military presence in the space, because I think their intention is to disrupt the business community, but so far the police have that under control.
The threat level against the police in the area is being carefully monitored.
The threat assessment against the police operating in that area is very high, so they were already advised by their commanders to be extra vigilant as they carry out their functions and their duties, because they're really not going to relent because persons are pushing back, but they are going to carry out their duties in accordance with the law. At this point, we want to encourage persons who are out there blocking the road to desist from doing it, because what they're doing is that they're disrupting individuals who want to go about their business, as well as the business community who want to serve these customers. So we want them to desist from doing it. We also want to encourage them not to engage the police with violence as they're out there trying to carry out their duties.
Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, head of the CCU. Walters was reportedly killed in an altercation with the St. Catherine North Police. He was reputedly a top lieutenant of the convicted leader of the One Done faction of the Klansman gang, Andre Blackman Brown. Reports indicate that he stepped into the leadership void that was created by Brown's subsequent incarceration and conviction. Walters was reportedly killed in the Top Banks community in Spanish Town. The area is considered to be among his strongholds. Walters has a long criminal history stretching over a decade. Meanwhile, Indicom is investigating the killing. This was disclosed by the head of the Constabulary Communication Unit (CCU), SSP Stephanie Lindsay. Commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Police, Acting Superintendent Coleridge Minto, says 2 stolen motor vehicles were among several items recovered during an operation in Santa Cruz on Friday.
A team of officers from the operational support team, the Santa Cruz station, conducted an operations in the Smoothland community, the Santa Cruz space. During the operation, 2 motor vehicles were seized. One of the vehicles was robbed from its owner last evening in St. James. Another vehicle that is suspected of being stolen was also taken to the police station. One person was also arrested during the operation. 1.38 revolver along with 4 live rounds were recovered during this operation.
Acting Superintendent Minto says the operation will continue into the weekend.
We continue to push our operational activities, and during this weekend there will be increased operational support. Area is also sending support, and we want to reassure the citizens of this parish that we will continue the operations across the various spaces to ensure that the parish remains safe and to restrict the movement of criminals across the various spaces.
Acting Superintendent Coleridge Minto, commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Police. 3 men and 1 woman have been arrested in connection with the seizure of more than 100 parcels of compressed ganja in St. Mary on Thursday, April 18. The seizure occurred during searches of 2 vehicles on the Retreat and Rio Nuevo main roads in the parish. Reports are that about 8 p.m., officers assigned to the Area 2 Narcotics Police Division were conducting an operation along the mentioned roads, and several vehicles were signaled to stop. In the lineup of vehicles that stopped were a 2014 black Toyota Noah and a 2013 grey Toyota Axio. A search of both vehicles was carried out, and 20 knitted bags containing 118 parcels of compressed vegetable matter resembling ganja were found in the Toyota Noah. The police say the occupants of both vehicles fled the scene. The lawmen later intercepted a 2018 white Toyota Corolla Axio. The police say intelligence suggests that this was the pilot vehicle. The 3 men and 1 woman who were aboard the Axio were arrested on reasonable suspicion of breaches of the Dangerous Drugs Act. Former president of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, Howard Mitchell, is urging political stakeholders not to politicize the ruling by the constitutional courts and to bring the office of the DPP and Paula Llewellyn herself into disrepute. Mr. Mitchell told Ricardo Brooks on Nationwide at 5 on Friday evening that the politicization of the office should end.
What I would hope from a political aspect is 2 things. One, that this particular furor does minimal damage to politicize the office of the DPP or the person of the DPP, who in my knowledge, after 35 years of practicing and I retired in 2010, has conducted herself honorably and has done her job. It is unfortunate if this is brought into the political arena in that way, and I would encourage the media to keep the issues focused on the law.
But Mr. Mitchell, hasn't it already been politicized? We've heard senior members of the opposition PMP on political platforms saying things like Paula Guaya Yard and that kind of thing. Isn't it already politicized?
Yeah, but it's already politicized, but I would love for that to be nipped in the bud.
Mr. Mitchell says politicizing the DPP and her office is damaging to the institution.
This is an institution of our country that is embedded in the Constitution, and there is enough damage being done to our institution. So I am personally calling on people to leave that aspect of it, the whole thing of questioning the motive in relation to that particular person. I think that what we are doing is damaging our institutions. Mm-hmm. The other aspect of it that I would like to point out is that the government, this administration has lost.
He has offered this advice to the DPP.
Well, my personal opinion is in these circumstances with a court ruling like this, and I have not fully interpreted the ruling, a court ruling like this, I think I would, if I were in the position of the incumbent, I would take some leave.
Howard Mitchell, former president of the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica. Now to news in the region. The head of the Infection Prevention Control Unit attached to the Port of Spain General Hospital in Trinidad and Tobago has been placed on administrative leave following the deaths of 11 premature infants in care of the hospital. Reports are that 7 babies died in the unit between April 4 and April 9, prompting investigations into whether they died as a result of the alleged presence of bacteria in the hospital's intensive care unit. Subsequently, several pre-action protocol letters sent to the Northwest Regional Health Authority revealed that the authority was facing legal claims in respect of 4 additional infants. In a release yesterday, however, the authority informed that the additional babies died during an earlier period and that their circumstances must be considered separately from the cluster which is currently under investigation. On the international scene, the U.S. House of Representatives is voting on a $61 billion aid package for Ukraine today. The vote has been delayed by Republicans for weeks, with some objecting to sending money overseas instead of the U.S.-Mexico border. Ukraine, which heavily relies on Western weapons, desperately needs the aid as it struggles to fight against Russian invasion. Ukrainian soldiers are running so low on munitions, they are having to ration shells on the battlefield. Separate votes will be held on an aid package to Israel and to Taiwan to deter Chinese aggression. The votes are a politically risky move by the Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson to get Ukraine's aid package through. You can watch the proceedings and it is now unfolding as we speak, and we'll have more details on this in our news at 5. Now to sports. The Miami Heat and the New Orleans Pelicans secured the final 2 spots in the NBA playoffs after victories in their play-in tournament games. The Heat, they beat the Chicago Bulls 112-91, while the Pelicans claimed a 105-98 win over the Sacramento Kings. Despite the absence of key player Jimmy Butler, Miami dominated the first quarter and never gave up their lead. The Pelicans were without their star, Zion Williamson, but Brandon Ingram's 24 points helped them hold off the Kings. Miami take the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference and will now face the Boston Celtics, who finished with the best record in the regular season, with New Orleans playing the Western Conference top seed, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Both series will begin tomorrow, Sunday. And now to recap the top stories making the world at noon. Sections of Spanish Town are tense as police monitor roadblocks by supporters of reputed Klansman gang member following his killing by lawmen yesterday. 2 stolen vehicles were among several items recovered during an operation in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth on Friday. Former president of the PSOJ, Howard Mitchell, urges political stakeholders not to politicize the ruling by the Constitutional Court as he reacts to the DPP legal saga. I'm Andrew Cannon. You can find the news on our website at Nationwide Radio JM and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. News is next, 5 o'clock, but stay tuned as we go back to Talk Up Youths.
Good health starts with proper hydration. Hydrate your body with Hydrate. Hydrate is purified natural water from rocks 110 feet below the ground. You have never tasted water so great, yet so affordable. Yes, taste and experience it for yourself. Water at its best. Hydrate. Available also as purified alkaline water and ultra-purified distilled water. Bottled by LLNSCS Limited, a subsidiary of Max Pharmaceuticals. Call 876-983-6466.
Come to Frame Art Jamaica Limited for your one-stop framing, graphic design and printing needs. We frame photos, certificates, paintings, t-shirts and so much more. We print banners and print on canvas. You can also get high-quality prints and framing done in a quick turnaround time to fit your budget. Visit Frame Arts Jamaica at 22C Old Hope Road, Kingston 5, Monday through Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 876-929-3058 or visit us at info@frameartjamaica.com. Serving you for more than 30 years.
Talk Up Youth and talk the truth. I ask the bush that representing for Talk Up Youths here and nationwide, 90 FM, every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Bush!
Victory, when you're winning, it's a sweet story. And when you're not, then the war is bitter. You're quick to call me a sinner. Only judge I know my history. So we have to give the king glory. Like a tree planted by the river, I smile with the sun. Can't keep it down, cause we have to overcome.
Sleepless nights under pressure, got a lot on my mind. But with life here without all the struggles of mine. Can't sleep, some steam trees for peace of mind. I can't sleep, but these sweet dreams do ease my mind. I say, what success without a little sacrifice? With every downfall, yes, you have to have a rise. Stay in the world to lose your soul, no, we're not gonna pay that price. I forgive, thanks, and like the morning sun, there's my
victory. When you're winning, it's a sweet story. And when you're not, then the war is bitter. You quick to call me a sinner. Only that I know my history. So we have to give the king glory. Like a tree planted by the river, I smile with the sun. Can't keep it down, cause we have to overcome.
Positively clear when I light up.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. If you're just joining us, you're listening to yours truly, Demoy, and also
Samuel here in the studio.
So, Samuel, what have we been discussing from morning?
We was talking about romantic relationships in high school. Should high schoolers be involved in romantic relationships? We also went to talk about safety and talk about conflict.
Conflict resolution
and
yes.
Right.
So we're gonna continue along the line of that conversation, and just give some, because basically, if you're just joining us, all of this is really because of what would have been happening in the social media space and also in the corporate and also the western end of the island in the the uptake in violence in schools. So we're going to be giving some information. We're going to be talking to some persons, but basically it's about conflict resolution. And for this segment, we'll be speaking about school safety program and peace management initiative. So in pursuing the document related to safe school programs, then Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites, addressing the review of school safety programs, said the review comes at a time when our nation is faced with attacks of violence against our children, and as a consequence, greater emphasis must be placed on families, communities, and other stakeholders, including the schools, having a full understanding of the duty of care that is necessary for the protection of our children in accordance with the laws established to guide our children. And with that context, we are now joined by Miss Adenike Stevenson, who is the Regional Case Management Coordinator out of the West. Miss Stevenson, welcome to the Talk of Youth Radio Show. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
So, Ms. Stevenson, how has the ministry, or through the efforts of the PMI, sought to address conflicts that have arisen among students within your region?
Well, Peace Management Initiative, in partnership with the Ministry of National Security, is working at all the levels that you just spoke about. At the individual level, family, school community, and the wider community. At the individual level, Peace Management Initiative offers counseling. The ministry has equipped and deployed case managers within several schools and several communities. Not all schools are able to be targeted at this time because this is a pilot program. It's also in partnership with the Ministry of Education. Case managers go out to the schools, working with the guidance counselors, deans of discipline. They get referrals of students who are having challenges with anger management, with other behavioral issues, and the case managers engage them and do the risk assessments and treat with the problems that come out of those risk assessments. Peace Management Initiative is also in the schools, offering individual counseling through their social workers. They also have a current partnership with the Jamaica Psychological Society, where they're offering individual psychological assessment and treatment to students that are referred from those schools. The case managers that work within the schools also work with the families. So we are doing home visits, we're doing parenting education, family intervention where it is necessary. The Peace Management Initiative Western has also been contracted, working with USAID Positive Pathways Program to deliver parenting education to parents across St. James currently. So we're working with parents of those children that have been referred for assistance or for case management to give them the necessary training in positive parenting practices that will equip those children to better be able to manage their anger and better be able to deal with conflict.
So, Ms. Stevenson, do you think that crime impacts the development of our children within the society?
Definitely. Because you have to remember, the children living in communities that are plagued by violence, this is what they see every day. When they come out of their houses, there's a conflict down the street.
Right.
The response that they see from their neighbors is to respond with violence, right? This subculture, I would say, is that the only way to deal with a conflict is to react with, throwing a punch or pulling a knife or whatever it is. So that's what they're exposed to every day, so it becomes not the norm for them. And a lot of these young children are desensitized. Violence is nothing to them now. They take out the phone and the video just like everybody else. So it is definitely impacting our children, and the only way for us to combat it is to put the necessary interventions in place in the homes and in the schools from a young age. And that is the focus that the Ministry of National Security has taken in partnership with PMI, in partnership with Positive Pathways and other stakeholders.
So, as you may know, Ms. Stevenson, fighting violent crimes in our city is complex and also challenging at times. So, what are some of the peace management initiatives or violence risk reduction strategies that we can implement to limit or hinder these these challenges?
Well, there are so many things that we can do, and we have started doing. And I think if more persons got on board, more agencies, more companies, private sector, we could have a greater impact and a broader impact. As I said, we need to target the families. In a lot of the homes, children are going through trauma. They're experiencing trauma, abuse, and they're not getting any treatment for it. So we have to start providing that treatment, providing that engagement of the parents, dealing with those adverse childhood traumas and incidents that throw them off and don't give them the wherewithal to deal with their anger and to deal with conflicts that arise. So we have to target the families. We have to target the individual children that are showing maladaptive behaviors. We also need to do more in the schools. A lot of schools, it's one guidance counselor, one dean of discipline. The teachers are overwhelmed. There's a lot to do. If we had more support in the schools, if children were more exposed to music, sports, technology, things that would divert them from a certain lifestyle, then that would also go a far way to reduce the risk factors. And that is where the ministry is focused. That's where Peace Management Initiative is focused. We also need to target the communities. We need to make people more aware of positive values that we need to get people to buy into these things, to say, okay, we need to say no to the violence. We need to do more.
So we ought to do more where public education is concerned. Children.
Say that again?
So we ought to do more where public education is concerned.
Definitely. And Peace Management Initiative Western is really doing that right now. We have on the corner meetings with young people, residents, where we try to bring that message to them that we need to build peace. Whenever there's a conflict in a community, we are the first responders. We try to mediate whatever conflict there is to prevent reprisals. And that's an ongoing effort that needs more support from all involved, all stakeholders.
So since the implementation of these initiatives that you guys have put in place, right, have you seen any changes in student behavior from Western schools or in the West on a whole?
Yes, so the targeted schools in the West, so there are only 10 schools between St. James and Westmoreland.
Right.
And as I said, we work on referrals from the guidance counselors and the deans. So in the children that are case managed, I can tell you we have seen changes in their overall risk level as well as changes in the various domains that we've been working on in terms of anger, in terms of self-awareness. Those are the areas that we're really seeing the change. This partnership between the Ministry of Education and Ministry of National Security is very new. It's just over a year, but we've already seen the benefits, and it's something that we really want to deepen the impact of it. But it takes time, it takes resources, and it's something that we're all committed to. Peace Management Initiative Western has been working to, be in the schools as much as possible. We do behavior change group sessions, we do counseling, we get referrals from the schools. So we are seeing the changes. We just need to do more, and we need more partners on board to make it really impactful.
And my question, Ms. Stevenson, being all that we here in Kingston would have been hearing where the incident at Irwin High School, one is that one of the targeted schools of where the Peace Management Initiative in the West is concerned, and two, what has been your, not your reaction, but what has the PMI West been doing where Irwin is concerned following that incident?
Okay, so it is currently not one of the targeted schools, but as I said, we are first responders at PMI West.
Yes.
And the Ministry of National Security case managers will also be working with PMI West to respond to the incident. We are saddened by it, and our thoughts and prayers are with the families. So definitely we will be reaching out to the school, not only to provide counseling or grief support, but also to see what we can do within the school population. If there are students there that need to be referred for further assistance, that's something that we will be looking at. And definitely we have to make a response because this is our community and we want to see our community be better in terms of crime prevention, violence reduction.
So PMI West has not responded as yet, but will be responding next week.
We'll be responding, yes.
All right. Thank you for that. Ms. Stevenson, it's a pleasure. It was a pleasure to have this wonderful conversation. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we take our break?
Just encouraging the wider Jamaica to, really take a look at what is happening in our society. We need the private sector support. We need all on board. We need residents in these communities to say, listen, we're done with the violence. We're not going to put up with it any longer. And we need a change in our society because what future are we going to have? If our children can't be safe, what future are we going to have? So we really need to do something now before it's too late.
Do something now. We need to do something now before it's too late. And do you have contact information in case persons from the West are listening and want to assist PMI West?
Sure. PMI Western, you can reach their email is admin@pmiwestern.com.
Mm-hmm.
The telephone number 876-940-4490.
Mm-hmm.
My contact number 876-369-3752.
All right, and social media?
We do have a Facebook page right now, but it's PMI Western, and we are on Facebook.
All right, we'll probably need to look at that at any case. Instagram, something like that, make it more out there. But nevertheless,
yes,
we are grateful for that. So thank you for your time, Ms. Stevenson, and please continue doing the great work that you are doing where PMI Western is concerned, because we have seen and we have heard of the success of PMI, not just in the East, but also in the West. So thank you, and do have yourself a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you so much for having me, and you do the same.
All right, thank you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are still on the conversation of peace management, but we will be delving a bit into what's happening later, which is the Prime Minister's Youth Awards. Yes, it's that moment where all the youth leaders, would have nominated somebody based on the different categories, and we'll be expecting to hear who were successful. But also it gives us the opportunity as young leaders, as youth leaders, to engage each other and to share ideas, share platform, and also to have frank conversations with members of the government, the Prime Minister, the Minister of Education, and stuff like that. So we're going to be speaking to one of the nominees to find out, what exactly has she been doing over the years and why is it that she was nominated. So this is the Talk Up Youth radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. Talk Up Youth, Miss Effie.
Talk Up Youth.
We'll be right back.
When you're winning, it's a sweet story. And when you're not, then the war is bitter. You quick to call me a sinner. Only that I know my history. So we are thinking the King glory.
Good health starts with proper hydration. Hydrate your body with Hydrate. Hydrate is purified natural water from rocks 110 feet below the ground. You have never tasted water so great, yet so affordable. Yes, taste and experience it for yourself. Water at its best. Hydrate. Available also as purified alkaline water and ultra-purified distilled water. Bottled by LLNSCS Limited, a subsidiary of Max Pharmaceuticals. Call 876-983-6466.
Bible Beyond the Basics, a program that goes beyond the elementary level in addressing the study of the Bible. Each Thursday evening at 9 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Join Dr. Clinton Baldwin of Dikayoma Ministers International as he unpacks biblical issues from a research-oriented perspective. Issues that characterize modern biblical scholarship, but which are not necessarily addressed in church on a Sunday or Saturday morning. Bible Beyond the Basics is intellectually stimulating, spiritually liberating, and socially empowering. Your Bible study program that delves beyond the basics with Dr. Clinton Baldwin of Dikayoma Ministers International. Thursdays at 9 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Sharing the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
Talk up youth and talk the truth. I ask the bush that representing for Talk Up Youths here and nationwide, 90 FM, every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Push!
In life, like royalty, hey. If I ever make it in a life, you are gonna be living like royalty. So me have to say it in a right. Never ever have to think twice, no way. If I ever make it in a life, you are gonna be living like royalty. So me have to say it in a right. Never ever have to think twice, no way. Me used to sleep on Stagger Coach. Me used to sleep on Corey Coach. Them and they never left me out. Me used to live at Eddie House. Me never keep me own a key. She keep my used to let me out. Me bring him with me go LA. It's like a him get nominated. Watch the Grammy side of me. Cause how much people can you say would feed you when you're hungry, when you brought them bless you with money? But I have been so fortunate, surrounded by so many people, make sure say me compensating. And them the thing me can't forget. Your daughter and my daughter wants me living, she no happy fret. If I ever make it in a life, you are gonna be living like royalty. So me happy say the thing right. Never ever happy think twice, no way. If I ever make it in a life.
Welcome back to the Talk Up Youth Radio Show, where we give youths a voice, not only in the terms of advocacy and civic engagement, but to also showcase their skills and their talents, you know. So last year this time, Talk Up Youth received the Prime Minister's Youth Awards, the highest honor when it was awarded the 2022 Prime Minister's Youth Award in the category of social entrepreneurship. So this evening will the awards for year 2023, and joining our show to speak with us about her achievement is one of this year's nominee, Miss Christina Godfrey. Christina, are you there?
Hello.
Hi Christina, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling excited. Today is the award ceremony, and I don't know, I'm just honored.
Well, let me just say it is an honor to be, not just nominated, but to be shortlisted for the Prime Minister's Youth Awards. It is.
So, Christina, tell us a little about yourself and the work you have been doing in nation building over the years.
Right, so I started at Edna Manley. So first of all, that's how I have my skills in creative arts, visual arts, and I met a lot of people along the way that were excited about, teaching children and using the arts to, transform lives. And I started in volunteerism with an organization called NLS, New Local Space, and it was, teaching children after school for a couple of weeks. And just being able to hear the teacher say, boy, I wonder, you can't manage him, Yes. You can't deal with him, And I say, boy, miss, me not think so, I think we can reach him. And the joy of that session at the end, knowing that all these kids were engaged in a program that I designed just with interest, and that led me into going to teach at Downtown Theatre. No Downtown Theatre, but Art and Literacy program, and working with Youth Inspiring Positive Change, and taking it from visual arts to now expressing yourself, addressing your bias, and doing some conflict resolution training. And then now segue into environmental issues with Grace cleanup, ocean cleanup. So over the years, it has been working through the arts mainly, but now working with a lot of youth development and conflict resolution training sessions.
So,
Yeah.
so Christina, how important is it for young people to get involved in areas such as this one?
It's important because you find yourself and you start to understand, you know, what would people need, what would people really need, and it transform your life and transform other people's life. And in the end goal, you build a nation that you really want. You're not cussing anymore. You're part of the solution. So I think it's important for all of us to get involved in volunteerism, in advocacy, in the arts especially, and find your niche and just develop the nation how you want to see it.
How significant would this award be should you be victorious in this category?
Well, well, for me, it's a big deal. It's a national award. But it's also it's a big deal. It's also for people in the arts. A lot of the programs in the arts are now not funded fully, and it's for somebody who think that the arts not going to, bring them anywhere. Is for them to say continue working and think of yourself as a nation builder. And I think that's what this award means to me. This is what a nomination even means to me. That it's to inspire somebody else to continue with the work you're doing.
Right. So Christina,
Or
another
start.
question. Yeah. As a nation builder, right? So what are your future plans in the whole area of nation building on a whole?
Sorry, it was a little bit choppy. You said, what are my future plans?
Yeah, future plans.
Future plans in the area of nation building.
The work continues with Youth Inspiring Positive Change. There are conflict resolution trainings that we want to continue with school tours. So it continues with, continuing to work with youths in the schools that we've marked. And, now you see that we're having issues with fighting and dealing with just simple little issues that arise in the schools. So it's continuing to work with Youth Inspiring Positive Change and also in environmental issues because their cleanup continues of the harbor and other art programs that I'm a part of, but can't say no. But we'll continue the work, continue using the arts to transform lives.
And we're gonna close off this segment. But is there any last words or probably a thought or something that you'd like to share with the young people who are listening to you right now?
Just simply that change starts with you. That's something that Youth Inspiring Positive Change taught me. The change starts with you.
I love that. The change starts with you. Thank you very much, Christina Godfrey, and I do wish you all the best later. You're coming to the awards, correct?
Yes.
So I'll be seeing you later, and I wish you all the best, my dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. So that was Christina Godfrey, and she is one of the nominees in the section of nation building. So I wish her all the best. I do wish her all the best. We're going to go into the social media segment, after which we're going to take a break, and then we're going to continue in the social media segment. So the hot topic for this week would have been the court rules on the DPP's tenure in office. So there is uncertainty regarding the tenure of the country's Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, Paula Llewellyn, and whether that office is now vacant. This is after the Constitutional Court struck down an amendment that allowed Ms. Llewellyn to elect to stay in office beyond her 63rd birthday. However, the Attorney General says no order given for DPP to vacate office. Attorney General Derek McCoy is dismissing suggestions by the opposition People's National Party that Paula Llewellyn has automatically vacated her position on the basis of Friday's ruling from the Constitutional Court. In a statement on Friday, Mr. McCoy says the claimants have interpreted the order of the court as having the effect of removing the incumbent DPP from office. He says no order has been issued to that effect. The Attorney General says the court has confirmed that by Section 2(1) of the Amending Act, the age of retirement has been increased from 60 to 65. Further striking down Section 2(2), the court has removed the DPP's option of electing to retire before 65. So I'm assuming that this is going to be so the question that I want to ask, which I think it would have been cleared by this statement from the Attorney General, is do we have a director of public prosecution, which based on what based on the release we do, because yes, the Constitutional Court shut down that there are parts of it that were unconstitutional, but at the end of the day, did they say that okay, it's unconstitutional, you need to leave office right now? Because based on my prior knowledge, the extension, and I think that's the gray area, the extension was up to 2023, 3 years.
Right.
And it was in seeking a second extension in confines with the recent amendment, which is to the 65, that all of this started. So that was my question. But in reading this now, I'm a bit clearer that there's still, so the government is still going to appeal, and as of now, we still have a director of public prosecution. And yes, I want to say it right now for our social media fans. Every ruling and decision that was made by the DPP in this extension up to 2023, up to now, while she's in office, still stands. So the Vibes Cartel fans, yes, because I'm not going down that road, but I do know that the Vibes Cartel stands. They have been paying key attention to this case because of the involvement of the DPP, in particular with the case where Vibes Cartel is concerned. So yes, all of those still stand and and so forth.
Also, in our social media segment, we'll be talking about the 100 meter at the Diamond League race earlier this morning, where Christian Coleman placed first. Following after was Fred Curley, Akeem Blake third, and Antonio Watson coming fourth place. Also, for fun and interesting facts.
So wait, before you move on, I'm seeing where those two got season best.
No, actually, 3 of them got season best, where Christian Cole got a season best of 10.13 seconds, Akeem Blake got a season best of 10.20 seconds, and Antonio Watson also got a season best of 10.27 seconds.
What I do appreciate about this is that they're peaking at the right time. This is what we want to see, because Olympics is right down the road. Want to buy the ticket yet for go out at Paris?
We have the VIP, home VIP.
So we're going. Nationwide will carry us there. I like that. So we do have the exclusive radio coverage of this year's Olympics, and it is promising, and I must say it is promising that we have 3 season bests at the start of the season, because the season is relatively it just started, right? So I'm looking forward to see what is yet to come. That's the safest way to put it. But did we have more Jamaicans in this race? We had who else we had in this race?
I think it was Yout Blake. Was it Yout Blake? Yeah.
We know how much income. Can somebody just in the ears just tell me how much income? Oh, all right. With All right, that's fine. With that being said, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, it's been a good show, but all good things must come to an end. So we're gonna just do our brief, chit chat and wrap up on the next side of this break. Talk up you, Miss Effie.
Talk up you.
We'll be right back.
Never ever have to think twice, no way. If I ever make it in a life, you are gonna be living like royalty. So me happy set it in a right. Like royalty. Hey.
Good health starts with proper hydration. Hydrate your body with Hydrate. Hydrate is purified natural water from rocks 110 feet below the ground. You have never tasted water so great, yet so affordable. Yes, taste and experience it for yourself. Water at its best. Hydrate. Available also as purified alkaline water and ultra-purified distilled water. Bottled by LLNSCS Limited, a subsidiary of Max Pharmaceuticals. Call 876-983-6466.
Share in the experience at Fontana Pharmacy. We have a wide variety of items in store just for you. Fill your prescriptions while you shop. And senior citizens enjoy 10% off. Shop household, cosmetics, toys, and many other departments. We also offer curbside pickup and delivery. Visit our website at fontanapharmacy.com. Fontana Pharmacy, where it's all good inside.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electrician. Fancy select tools, free parts and free repairs. Free parts, free repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61114. Delta Supply. We service what we sell.
Talk up youths. Hey. Oh yeah, boy. Listen. Right about now we want to tell them. We tell them say youths. You have to stand for your rights now. Now is the time. Youth for chat and youth for act and youth for unite right now. No silence. You youth. You have to stand for your rights now. Now is the time.
Tell the people.
Back to the Talk of Youth radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth, and we are now joined by, and I think this is, we haven't done this in a while, we have the producers.
The producers
we have
segment.
well, Damien, you're in a different category because you're like a host, producer extraordinaire,
okay.
script writer, DJ,
Everything in one.
everything in one. You're like a big melting pot of potentiality. A big melting pot of potentiality.
Love that.
Yes, so we're wrapping up, and we have time.
Yeah,
we have time. Thanks to me.
Time management.
Thanks to me, but also much thanks to my co-host for today. Yeah, man, he did a very good job. So we're gonna go through some fun and interesting facts. Perhaps you didn't know. I didn't know half of these.
Right.
So you can buy a square watermelon in Japan. Who didn't know that?
Square?
No matter answer.
Square watermelon.
Yeah, a square watermelon. So what? No, my eyes. So since you know, what would have helped to shape that make watermelon come out square?
I would actually done.
Yeah.
So they have these things that they put over the watermelon while it's growing, and that would just.
He's using his biological.
No. I actually study the history and culture of Japanese, and they have things like.
And that's a part of it.
That's a part of it.
So it just grow
whether it's
and
Japanese
take the shape
watermelons
of it.
or mango or the beef, they have their own beef.
So it's alright. So it look good, but do you know if it tastes good?
I don't think the taste will differ from.
Are
you Jamaican?
So it just not so natural. We article I tell people stay.
So it have a different shape. It have a different hair.
That's fine. Once in a round. Look how we use watermelon for stay so and round. Anything off of that, it's clearly something wrong. We don't know where you're putting it.
Maybe because it's square, probably sweeter for them.
Sweeter. They just put it in a
and that's my thing. Then naturally. then naturally that it is not.
It is still being naturally grown. It's just being molded.
We're not gonna argue with you.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not gonna argue with you. All right. So I found this one interesting. Before alarm clocks, people would pay someone to knock on their windows and wake them up.
What?
They were called knocker-uppers.
What?
Well, I've heard the term knocker-upper before, but I think I heard it in the wrong context.
Moving on, immediately.
That context can't be shared.
David looking at me like, from a start to read, David was like, I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I didn't go there, David, but I know the term from a different context, which we're not going to share on here. But this is very interesting.
Knocker up.
Yeah.
So
paying people to knock on your windows, though. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Would that?
I think more I can.
Yeah.
No.
I think I would do an excellent. No, I wouldn't do an excellent because that mean we'd have to wake up to knock on the window.
Yeah, exactly.
I think everybody in the studio
So
knows
who
that.
woke up the knocker-uppers then?
So I guess the knocker-upper employed a knocker-upper to knock them up,
But
so
who
they
would-
can
who wake up the president?
We're not gonna go through that. That is history.
Wow.
That is history. He saw this one and wanted to read it. Well, he said that this is him, so I'm going to ask him to read this one.
You mean
Yes.
The arithmophobia is the fear of numbers.
So
So
he said that this is his reason why he hates maths.
Oh, the fear of numbers.
But that's not really a fear of numbers. You just don't have a liking for maths.
So you don't have a fear of numbers, you just don't like maths.
Just not like, right.
Because
Can't say that then.
Because you're lazy.
No.
And I don't want to.
What's Jerp on the radio? What's Jerp on the radio?
No,
I can understand the math thing though, but because we're in the STEM education era, and we're promoting that, so
ask him if it's just math or numbers.
It's just maths.
So it's not numbers.
So you don't have a fear of numbers?
No, not really.
Well, I know I don't have this because I like to see my paycheck.
Oh, there you go.
I know I don't have this.
I think college should have probably awakened my fear of this. Every time I see the school fee, I just.
No. Alright, so the Eiffel Tower can grow up to 6 inches taller in the summer. Interesting. Yes, Damon is like,
yeah.
This is because the heat makes the iron expand.
Wow.
My question is in all of this. Alright, how they know this?
I guess them go up there with a measuring tape and just put it.
I don't think so, Samuel. I do not think so, Samuel.
I don't think so. And I won't even allow you to continue. I won't think so.
But that's interesting indeed.
So the hashtag symbol that we call hashtag, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually not a hashtag, but it's actually called a octothorpe.
Uno?
An octothorpe.
Wow.
I found that interesting.
So apart from saying hashtag, we should have been saying octothorpe.
Well, nobody's going to go in
Nobody's
this
going to
generation.
say, hi, Octothorpe. Octothorpe, talk of you.
Yeah, hashtag talk of you.
And again, English is that where it is dynamic. It's constantly changing. But so, go ahead.
No, I was going to say what's interesting about that one is that we are used to the number sign symbol,
Yeah.
And you see it on your phones and other devices. But
so before we call hashtag, we call it number sign.
Exactly.
Nobody knew about Octothorpe.
Right, so it's like, it's the evolution of it.
Yes, the evolution of English, And I'm just saying because it's the same thing with knocker-upper. You understand?
Move on from the knocker-upper.
No,
how is it the same thing?
We have moved on. But what I'm saying is the meaning that we know what knocker-upper means is not what it meant back then.
I don't think I know the meaning you're talking about.
And that's fine. That is fine.
That's not your homework either.
Trust me, not your homework. Right,
but here's one where an 11-year-old boy accidentally invented the ice pop in 1905 when he left soda powder and water outside overnight.
How?
That we're gonna have to find out.
So if he left the soda powder and the water, well, probably I don't know the makeup.
You have to ask the scientific mind over there, Rose.
So all ice pop make.
Yeah.
Check it next week.
Check it next week.
But that's interesting though. I think it's the same thing like how they discovered chocolate milk because it was invented here.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, you never know that.
I did not know that. No, I did not know.
Yeah, chocolate milk was invented in Jamaica.
I thought it was on a very brown cow and that's started that.
Moving right along. So wind is actually silent. What we hear is the wind blowing against an object.
I think
is that
most people could figure that.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, which I'm to be honest with you, now that me read it, when I read it before, I was like, it makes sense. But we always say we hear the wind. This is what I'm telling, like it's not
wind is silent.
Yeah, this is what I'm telling before we move on to the next one. Like when you ever hear the rain come,
Yeah. You hear
you don't hear that. No, seriously.
But it's just the impact.
David, have you not heard the rain coming? Like it's raining. All right, where I live, it's like technically, you hear the rain falling on the ground.
The impact of the rain on the
But what I'm saying is, in the moment, it's not falling where I am, but I hear it coming. All right, I'll give you context. I live at the leeward side of a hill. So when it's raining heavily, I can hear it raining over the other side, which is your technical, you trying to be smart, David. Yes, we know the rain hitting on the objects, whatever it is, on the ground. But I hear it from that side, and I hear when it is gradually coming to my side. That never I'm tuning yet, like when I hear the rain come. So like I'll be on the road, like when I was... David, I'm not a country man.
But it's like sometimes like when I was younger to say, so how is it raining like over there and not right here?
Alright, so you never see this yet? Like Hope Road, living example. One side wet because of rain and the other side dry.
Like rain could be falling at JC, but as they reach Alpha Street, dry.
You never said that yet?
I've seen that.
Okay, alright. So when in there, you know, I'm going to ignore Dave for the rest of the day. And the last, David, close mood. Goodbye. You want an award?
In the spirit of the upcoming season of Olympics, let's go to that one.
So in the spirit of the upcoming Olympics, no thanks to David on that, the Olympics used to give medals for art, not just sports. I can believe that. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. And I think it's a history in me. Because Olympics would have started with the whole Greek era, and those people in that era were not just great philosophers, but they're also great artists and stuff. So I do believe, I can believe that.
So why do you think they stopped?
Huh?
Why do you think they stopped?
Because
there are no more great
the focus on
I don't think there are no more great artists.
No, I just think that the focus, there wasn't as much emphasis being placed on that side, on the arts and the other things as a part to sports. And I think something had happened. I would have to pull up my history now. Something happened, and then Olympics came, and then it totally became about sports, which was to unify the world per se and stuff like that. So that's that for that.
And not only that, the continual conversation, the evolution of what they give at the Olympics. So now we're having a conversation about monetary gift or award.
I'm sure people who used to run would be like, wow.
Well, there was that thing that was out. Somebody was saying that our former
yes, I saw that.
The retroactive payments.
Yes, retroactive payment. I saw that. But very interesting, because there was a time in Olympics when they wouldn't give out medals, but instead they would give out what is called olive branches. Yes, they would wrap it as crown and stuff like that. So with that being said, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank you guys for being here today. Without you guys, it would not have been possible. David, thank you very much. I want to thank Empress. I want to thank you, Samuel, for being a great sport and a very good co-host. You know, it's always fun to be here with younger people, because remember, I'm still young. With younger people, and with the exception of Damien, younger people. I want to also thank Mama E, Empress. Thank you, Empress, for giving us the platform, giving us the opportunity. You crawled so we can walk now, and for that we are forever grateful. We're forever thankful for that. I would have bigged up the producers Damian Scarlett and Damian Rose, who chimed in just now, and we also want to thank the studio engineer David McNeish for being in my ears and trying to prove that I'm not as smart as I am. But David, sorry to burst about, but I am. This is the Talk Up Youth radio show, the voice of the Jamaican youth. All good things must come.
PM. Talk Up Youth, myself, Talk Up Youth.